Hi, George here. Today we're going to be removing all of these background people over here using the standard clone stamp tool, but there's a trick we'll use to make this project a whole lot easier, and we'll end up with that real nice, clean photograph. Okay, I'll just get rid of this one layer here. I'll just trash that. There we go, and there's our original image. Now, whenever I do anything that's going to be affecting the actual pixels, I always make a duplicate of the background layer. So let's right-click where it says background, duplicate layer, choose OK, and hide that as a safety. Even if I'm planning on doing non-destructive edits, I still do this just in case. You never can tell. It's not a bad idea. Okay, now, if you notice our picture, take a careful look at this, you'll see that the background people are pretty much out of focus and our foreground people are pretty much in focus. There's a little bit of an iffiness around the heads in here. Of course, the hair becomes soft anyway, but by and large, we have focus foreground and out of focus background, which means we can use focus select. So go up here to select, come down to focus area in here. We'll let this think it through. There we go. Pretty good job. A little bit of a mess right here and a bit in here, and those are easy to fix after the fact. I think everything else is clean. Now you can play around here with the in focus range and some advanced settings, noise level, and so forth. But I think we'll go with this. It looks good enough for our use. We'll put this to a selection, choose OK, and there's our selection. Now all we need to do is just to clean up our selection just a bit. And let's zoom in on this. And we'll use the regular lasso tool and remove right here, or subtract. Let's just take that out and that piece out. That's fine. Let's now come in a bit closer on this, and we'll clean up the rest of this selection. So there's a little bit right in here, and a little bit right in here. Let's get those. I'll use the polygonal lasso tool for that, which is very easy to control. And I'll be setting my feathering here at just 1 pixel just to help out a little bit on that edge. And I want to remove this piece. So I'll come just outside, and then let's just work right along the hair. Now with this tool, make sure you don't click too quickly or it will close the selection. You don't want to have that happen. You have to start that over again. So just take your time, give it a moment between each click, and you should be fine. And then out and around, back to the beginning. Fixes that. Let's go over here to the other side. There's a little bit up in here on the hair. I want to add that in, but let's get this removal part first. And we'll get this out of here again, just follow along the hair. Now when you're working along an edge like this, there's going to be a very slight gradient along that edge. There's a little bit of a softness. You want to be right in the middle of that gradient, that soft edge. And that will give you the best selection. Work up around here. There you go. Back around to the beginning. Double click. Gets rid of that. And let me just bring in this to a little bit of hairs right in here just to protect those. So I'll add that. And that's right in here, that little bit. I want that added in. And just a little bit up here. I make sure I keep that. There we go. Up here doesn't matter because I won't be doing any clone stamping up there, so we're fine at that point. And I think maybe just a little bit right in here. I'll keep that as well. Okay, let's move over to this side. And there's a bit of his hair up in here. It's kind of pretty wavy and wispy. I want to keep some of that in there. And just a bit right down here. Right there. And I think that's everything. And it looks like his ear was missed. So let's make sure we get that ear in as well. There we go. Back to the beginning. And it brings that in. Everything else looks fine. Let's now use Control-0 to go back to Fit Screen. So they're now selected. So we have to invert our selection. Select, inverse, and now the background is selected. And now it's a real simple matter just to grab the Clone Stamp tool. There's the brush size. It's a bit on the large side. Let me bring that brush size down. That's the left square bracket. And then grab something from the left or right, the area you want to remove. Alt key, click, and then just bring that in and take it out, whatever it is. I have all of my settings up here at their default settings, which is perfectly fine for this. No change needed up there. And if you have a really definite horizon like we have right here, I'm going to grab right on that horizon. You can see there it is. Pull that in, and then let's just clone stamp them out of there. That's fixed. Same thing back in here again on that horizon, and we'll bring it in here and get this person in between. That's taken care of. Now over here, same thing. Just find the horizon and match the horizon line up. And get that little bit right there. Do the same thing over here. Grab the horizon line, match up the horizon line, and let's just take them out. There we go. So now go over here, right-hand side, same trick. Come over here someplace on the horizon, choose that. Let's match our horizon line up, and then we'll quickly paint out this figure. This looks pretty good. There we go. The one last little bit right in here is the ground change just a bit right there, and I'll do that right in here as well. Control D to deselect. Now one last thing we want to do, let's zoom in and check the edges right around where we did that, and that looks pretty good. We had just a little bit of softening on the edge, and that worked out fine. Okay, sometimes you'll get kind of hard edges in here. That's why that 1 pixel of feathering helps you just give it just enough softness so it doesn't look odd. And that worked out good in here as well. I think we're done. That's all it took. And if you want to learn a lot more about how to use Adobe's Photoshop program, take a look at my complete training course. There's a link for that right down there in the description. Don't forget to like and also make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos in the future. And I'll see you next time.